Welcome to building a real-time chat app with React, Nest.js, and GraphQL. My name is Michael, and I'm a professional software engineer with over 10 years of experience building full-stack web apps. I have a YouTube channel where I post regularly about Node.js and React development, and I designed this course specifically to show you how to build a real-world application with Nest.js, which is the framework we're going to use to build our Node.js backend, and React, the framework we're going to use to build our UI. So I wanted to develop a course that would show you from beginning to end how to actually build a production-grade chatting application just as I would build it using a very popular stack of Node.js and React. In my opinion, the best way to learn how to develop something like a chatting application is to actually build it yourself. And that's exactly what we're going to do in this course. We're going to go step by step to building and deploying our chatting application. So let's jump right into the next video where we're going to see with our own eyes what we're actually going to be building in this course. Let's go ahead and I'll see you there. So now you can see the application that we're going to be building in this course, Chatter. So Chatter is a real-time messaging application built on a Node.js backend on top of Nest.js and a React UI. So it's utilizing GraphQL subscriptions to handle publishing and subscribing to messages over WebSockets. So this is going to be a scalable architecture that's going to allow us to scale our application up to many concurrent users and send and receive messages seamlessly. So you can see here we're at our default login page because everything on the UI and backend is going to be protected with industry standard JWT authentication. We can go ahead and sign up or log in and get redirected to home once we're authenticated. So I've gone ahead and logged in, and we're now at our home page where we can see all of our chats that we currently have in our system. So I can go ahead and click on any chat to get the set of existing messages for this chat. So we also have pagination built in to everything in our system so that it's completely scalable. So I can go ahead and send one message and see my message get sent. So now I've logged in as a completely separate user. So now I'm going to go ahead and send a new message as this existing user, and we can actually see it immediately populate in this other first page because we're receiving this message real time over our WebSocket connection that's managed on our Node.js backend. We can also see our chat list update in real time, so I can go ahead and send a message in a separate chat room and see it pop up here as well. So we also have profile pictures out of the box. So I can go ahead and upload my own profile picture using Amazon S3, which is where we're actually hosting these images. And we're actually hosting all of our application on AWS. Now the best part about this is that we're actually staying completely on the free tier when we deploy this application. So it's not going to cost us anything as long as we're on the free tier. I'm going to go ahead and show you how to build and deploy this application with a custom domain if you choose to purchase one, or the default free domain. Lastly, we're going to actually deploy a production Redis cluster in the cloud in AWS that our application connects to, so it can publish and consume messages from multiple instances of our app running, so we can scale our application horizontally and scale up with demand. Now React UI is using Material UI to actually build out our UI quickly and easily with these beautiful components. And the best part about this is it's completely responsive. So we can go ahead and actually minimize our application and see it conform to the new viewport dimensions and see it looks great and still functions fine on a mobile device. We're also going to set up a continuous delivery CI/CD pipeline so that whenever we push code to our GitHub repository on our UI or backend, it's automatically going to be built and deployed by AWS to this production URL. I hope you're excited to go ahead and get started and actually building out this application. I'm really confident you're going to learn a lot in this course and be able to apply these concepts you learn to building your next web application. All right, so before we move forward, I want to make it very clear about who this course is actually designed for and who I recommend taking this course. So this course is recommended for intermediate developers who have experience building web applications. It is by no means meant for beginners who have never touched a Node.js Express backend or a React UI. If you have If you haven't worked with either of these technologies, I recommend you dig further into the docs for them and build some starter projects first. Then come back to this course where we're actually going to use the concepts you learn in documentation and small starter apps to build a real world application. So that brings me to who the course is actually for. And that is ideally intermediate developers who have had some experience building out some web app backend and UI, preferably with Node.js and Express, as well as Nest.js and a React UI. By following this course, you're going to solidify what you've learned in basic starter projects and documentation and learn how to actually apply that to building a real world app, which in my opinion is the best way to actually learn these technologies. So with that out of the way, let's go ahead and jump right in and start building our app. Finally, before we get started, I want to show you that for each lecture we have a resources button where you can find the starting code for the beginning of each and every lecture and the ending of each and every lecture for our GitHub repository where our code is being stored. So this is going to let you compare your code to mine at the beginning and end of every lecture to help you through debugging any issues. So you should definitely follow along and code along with me and use these resources if you get stuck. Of course, feel free to post in the Q&A section if you do get stuck or have any other questions or comments.